exactly what it is we're doing. Okay, so I'm recording the session so that for those people who aren't able to log in tonight, I'm going to send this video out later on this evening on Pronto. So if those people who didn't log in, they'll still be able to see everything. So guys, I just kind of wanted to do a rundown of how our course is basically going to be run. So, you know, we've all been in this COVID situation probably longer than we wanted to be in. I hope everybody's doing well. I hope you guys are safe and your families are safe and nobody's ill. If you've been attending school for the last year, you probably have some more experience with online courses, but it's your first semester at STC and you're doing an online class, this is going to be your first experience with online classes. And I just wanted to make sure that everybody has an understanding of what it is we're supposed to do, okay? So I'm just going to kind of walk you through our class here. So the first thing obviously is a welcome folder, right? And we have a course description. And so I need to fix this because I put the wrong course number right here. But we are in 0014, so I'll fix that for you guys. Don't worry about it. So this class here, if you notice when you sign up for it, excuse me, it says College Option Support Course, and then it says IND, which is independent. So all that means is that normally this class is attached with a college algebra course, but in our case it isn't. It's an independent class. It's on its own. So everybody in this class, you guys are here because your major does not require you to have an actual math course for your degree. You just need to be what they call TSI complete. Like you need to be ready for a college level math class, even though you don't need to take one. And one of the ways you can do that is you can take the TSI test, and if you pass it, great. And the other option is you can take this class, and if you pass it, that works as well, right? So you can either take the test or you can take this class. You don't necessarily have to do both. You just got to have at least one of them, okay? And so one of the things we're going to do, guys, we're going to talk about different things. We're going to talk about factoring, some rational stuff, some polynomials, and some and stuff like that, okay? So anyway, just a little bit of basic information about our class. Like I said, I'm going to fix this part right here. This is just, I copied and pasted from another class. Forgot to change that part, okay? But I'll fix that for you guys. And then meet your instructor. It's just a little bit of information about me. So you can read this whenever you want. Guys, the one thing I do have my office number on here, but, you know, I'm not at the office right now. And there's my office location, but if you go to building Y, you're not going to find me, right, because we're all online. This number right here is the number you want to use, right? So I created a Google number, guys. And so if you call me, it rings just on my iPhone. So you can call me, and that's, you know, where you can get a hold of me, okay? Let's see. I did make a welcome video for you guys. So watch this video whenever you get a chance. It just takes you to YouTube, and it's me talking to you guys about how this class is set up in basic information. Let's see. Course syllabus. So guys, if I click on this, it takes me to the course syllabus. So I'm going to show you what that looks like. So give me 1 second. Let me open it up for you guys so y'all can see it. Okay, here we go. So here's the course syllabus. So guys, meeting times, we're obviously online, right? So the only thing I'm doing is I'm doing the class sessions on Mondays from 6:30 to 7:30. And so I'm going to go over material and all that kind of good stuff, right? But here's the course description. It's the same thing that I had in the other one. Here's my contact info. So guys, every Monday night from 6:30 to 7:30, I'm going to be here on Blackboard Collaborate, right? I'm going to go over material. I'm going to answer any questions you guys might have, right? And I'm going to record our session, and then I'll send the video out on the Pronto app. So in case you weren't able to log in, you'll be able to watch it, right? Now, I also have other office hours. So Mondays, I have office hours from 5 to 5:30, Tuesday, 10 to 10:30, Wednesday, 10 to 11, and Thursday afternoons, 5 to 5:30. So during this time, guys, you can call me, you can message me on Pronto. I won't necessarily be on Blackboard Collaborate, but message me during this time or call me, and if you need help, we can get on Blackboard Collaborate and we can have a session. And it doesn't mean that you can't message me on Pronto at any other times. If you noticed today, I sent you guys a couple of messages on Pronto earlier about our class and all that kind of good stuff. it's just that if you message me at any of these times, you're going to get an immediate response, right? If you message me at, I don't know, 9 p.m., you're going to get a response. You just may not get it that day. You may have to wait the next day to get it, okay? Guys, you can message me on Pronto anytime you guys want. I actually don't have the app on my phone. I have it on my iPad, okay? So I have it on my iPad, so you can message me anytime you want, and I'll get back to you. I don't keep my iPad in my bedroom, so it's all good, okay? Just don't, if you message me on Pronto at 3 in the morning and, it's like 3:30 and I haven't responded to you, don't call me on my Google phone like, sir, I just sent you a question. Yeah, I know it's 3 in the morning, honestly. And the only reason I say that is people have done that before, okay? But I didn't answer and say, hey, I just didn't answer. Let's see. So here's our grading scheme, guys. There's going to be a total of 4 quizzes. Each quiz is 10%. That's why I said the quiz average is 40%. Homework is 20%, midterm is 20, and the final exam is 20, okay? This is the book that we use for it. And then there's just like some, expectations. Like these are things that I tell people every semester when we're in a face-to-face class, this is what I talk about. So I wanted to talk to you guys about this, but have an I can do this attitude as opposed to I can't do it. If you're worried about math, guys, don't. Okay, we're going to try to get through everything here. Anyway, there's just some information here. I'll let you read through it. And at the bottom, guys, I just have like a little calendar of what it is we're going to be doing. So this week, we're going to go over exponents and polynomials. Next, we'll go through factoring. At the beginning of week 3, we're going to take a midterm, and then we'll do some more stuff at the end of week 3. And then you can see week 5, we finish everything up. Pardon me. And we take our final exam, okay? So it's a short session, guys. It's 5 weeks, right? We start today, June 7th, and we're done by July 8th. So it's a month and a day, okay? So anyway, let me get out of this page here. And let me go back to the other one where we were. Excellent. Okay, and then here we go, contact information. So guys, this is where I put my contact info, right? So there's my Google number, there's email, and then here's the info about, my office hours, right? So during this time, message me or call me on my Google number, right? And I'll get back to you. Let's see, what else do we got here? Okay, we got a weekly's activities folder. So guys, every week I'm going to be updating this, right? So if I click on this right now, you can see we have everything for week 1. So when I click on this right here, it tells you, hey, welcome to our class. So the first thing I want y'all to do is to set up the Mylab account. And so guys, I created a video right here. Here's the link to it. And I walk you through the process on how to sign up for Mylab. So guys, in my other class, somebody kept on telling me, sir, it's asking me for like a course ID and all this kind of stuff. It's not gonna, the only time it's gonna ask you for a course ID is if you try to pay for it and if the payment didn't go through and it kicks you out, it's gonna start doing that. And it tells you gotta wait an hour. So if you see that message, then wait the hour. Sometimes you gotta wait 2, click on it again and you'll be good to go, okay? But I made a video for you guys and showing you how to make your Mylab account. So that info is right there. Guys, again, make sure you do get Pronto on your smartphone or on your tablet or whatever. I mean, I usually recommend that because I do send a lot of messages through Pronto. Okay. One of the things I just got finished doing another class session with one of my other courses, and I was telling them that that if somebody asked me a question like, sir, hey, I got stuck on number 13 or I got stuck on number 9, happens to be, you can message me that in Pronto. You don't necessarily have to message me in our group thread. You can message me directly, right? You can send a message directly to me that's not in the group thread. And then what I'll do is if you tell me which problem it is, I'll make a video of that problem and I'll upload it to YouTube, and then I send it to the entire class and I just say, hey everybody, one of our classmates asked me a question, here's the video of the problem. Because chances are if one person has a question, there's usually 8 or 9 other people that still got that same question, right? And I want to make sure that everybody has an opportunity to see it. Let's see. So anyway, that's why I encourage you to get Pronto on your phone. because you'll get these messages and you can check and you can see, oh, you know what, I hadn't done this problem yet, but I'm glad they made a video of it because I wasn't sure what I needed to do. Okay. Let's see, the other thing I did, guys, I uploaded all my notes to a Google Drive. So all you got to do is click on the link and it takes you to that document, and you can either just view it, you can print it. I don't recommend you print it because they're kind of long and then you don't need to waste all that paper. But if you want to print it, you're more than welcome to do so. But anyway, documents are there. And then, guys, the other thing I did is I made a playlist on YouTube for all the videos. Now, these are videos that I made. So, guys, if I click on this real quick, and I'm going to show you what that looks like right here. There we go. And let's see. Okay, so here you guys go. You can see it now. So, guys, I have the videos for 12.1, 12.2. We don't do 12.3. We go straight to 12.4, 12.5. This is what you're going to be doing this week, right? And then next, we'll start with chapter 13 and so on and so forth. But all the videos are here. This is the videos for the entire semester, okay? See, there's not a whole lot of them in here, guys, but the ones that we need are here, okay? And these are videos that I made, and I talk you all through the process, okay? I walk you through it as if I'm there with you. And you can see, like the first video, if you look, guys, it's only 9 minutes long, right? Second one's 15 minutes. The longest one you're probably going to have maybe is this one right here, 14.4, and it's not even 20 minutes long, right? So, but all the videos are here, right? These are videos that I made. So again, what I'll have you guys do, let me stop sharing this screen real quick, and we'll come back to where we were. Here we go. Okay, so for like this week, guys, I'm going to have you watch those first 4 videos, 12.1, 12.2, 12.4, and 12.5. And then I'm going to have you do some assignments. And there's 4 assignments that I want you guys to do. The first one is exponents. Second one is negative exponents, adding, subtracting polynomials, and multiplying polynomials. 4 homework assignments, and they're due by, it's supposed to say 11:59. It's a typo, but I'll fix that for us tonight, guys, before the night's over. I'll change it to 11:59. And then you have 1 quiz that you got to do, that you have, to complete as well by next Tuesday. So you notice, guys, it's 5 assignments, 4 homeworks, and 1 quiz, and you have a little bit more than a week to get it done, a week and a day. As far as the quiz is concerned, guys, once you start the quiz, you have 1 hour to complete it. Okay. If you're happy with your grade after you finish the quiz, you don't need to do anything else. You'll see your grade immediately. It'll tell you how you scored. Okay. If you're not happy with your grade, you get a second shot at it. Okay. And we always take the highest. The highest of the 2 is going to be the one that's used in your average. Okay. So, if you do worse the second time, don't worry. The first one is going to be the one that we use when we compute your average, okay? But anyway, that information is there. Okay, so let me get out of this page, and then here is the Mylab and Mastering course home link. So guys, again, when you watch that video, to take you back real quick, when you watch the video on how to create your account, this is where you're going to get started from, okay? So if you haven't watched the video yet, I encourage you to watch the video, and I'll walk you through the process to get set up on Mylab. And I talk to you guys about the pricing and all that kind of stuff. Guys, I've had students who, I was telling this to my other class a little while ago, I've had students who bought the course ID through eBay, and this was before COVID hit when we were still on campus. But every one of my students who bought the course code, the access code through eBay, none of them had any issues, okay? I can't guarantee you that you won't, but I never had any students that had any issues. And when you log in, it gives you a couple of options. One of them is like an 18-week option, and it's usually somewhere around $60 to $80. And then there's one that's 24 months, and that one's usually a lot more money, usually like $124. But my students who bought their access code on eBay, they paid like $50 to $60, and it was the 24-month option. So they had a whole lot of time, okay? But it's really up to you and what you decide you want to do. I'll let you decide how you want to handle that. And then this link here is the link that takes you to the tutoring services that STC provides. So I'm not exactly certain what they're doing for tutoring right now. I don't know if people can go into the lab, but it's just open for everybody. If 30 people wanted to walk in, could they? I don't know all that information. I'm thinking you can, guys, because of the orders that the governor has out, but you know, you're not obligated to go in if you don't want to. And then the last link here is for the course evaluation. It's not available yet because the college opens it up the last week or two of summer classes. But it's an opportunity where you guys get to evaluate me, and I highly encourage you. Tell me what you like about the class. Tell me what you think I can improve. Okay, all that kind of good stuff. But everything you need is right here, guys. And like I said, right now it just says week 1. Next week on Sunday at midnight, you know, going into Monday, week 2 will be there. Okay. So if anybody wants to get a head start, I might put it up even earlier, but it'll definitely be there by technically Monday morning, you know, 12 a.m. Okay. But it might go up earlier. And chances are it probably will. And not that you have to get started, but if those people who, like, if you finished everything in week 1 by tomorrow or Wednesday, and you're like, sirs, what are you going to put this up for week 2? I'll probably have it up by Wednesday or Thursday at the latest, okay? So anyway, I kind of went through all that kind of stuff here, guys. Let's see, announcements. When I send announcements, they should pop up over here. But I did kind of walk you through all that stuff. My question to you guys, let's see. Okay, so I see it right now. Rebecca just typed in, how can I buy it after the 14-day trial? So excellent question, Rebecca. I'm going to walk you through that process actually right now. Give me one quick second. And let me see if I can do this. Let me see. Give me 1 second. Oh, man. Let me see. I'm going to see if I can remember when you know what? I know where I can find it. Give me 1 quick second here, guys. And I will pull that up for you. Let's try this. Okay. So, all right. So, guys, I want to show you something here on my screen. If you notice up here in the chat box, guys, Rebecca asked me, how can I buy it for the 14-day trial? So let me show you all real quick. You can see what I'm doing. Okay. So, guys, this here is the class, the one that I had set up the other day on in the little video on how to get started. This was the one that I had set up, right? So at some point when I click on my lab link, it's not going to let me sign in. And if I click on that My Courses tab, let me just kind of go back to where I was, just so you can kind of see where I was. So when you're here on the main page, and you don't have to wait till the 14 days are up, guys. Like if you're waiting because you're going to get paid, but you find out you're going to get paid, you know, this week on Thursday or whatever happens to be, and you got your money, click right here where it says My Courses. And if you notice, do you see here how it says temporary access expires in 11 days? And it tells me upgrade access. So I made this video a couple of days ago. That's why it said 14 days, and it's giving me a countdown. So if I were to log in here tomorrow, it's going to say 10 days. But if I click right here where it says upgrade access, let me see. I don't know if y'all can see this part. 1 second. No, okay. So let me stop sharing this one. And when I clicked on that link, guys, what happened was a window popped up for me, and there we go. And this was it right here, okay? So if you notice down here before where it had that 14-day free trial, well, I'm already in that 14-day free trial, right? Pardon me. So here's where you can say, okay, you know what? I'm going to pay $70 for the 18-week option because that's the cheap one. or I'm going to pay the $105, right? Or if you buy your code through eBay, they'll send you a code, right? And then you'll click on this right here, and you're going to enter in your code exactly as you see it. So guys, the one thing I tell my students, when you get your code, the letters are always in capital letters. So when you start typing in your code, make sure you got your caps lock on, right? You want to enter it exactly as you see it. If you type in the wrong letter, if you do something, it's not going to work. And it's not that you just do it again, but just take your time with it, okay? But that would be the way that you would go ahead and upgrade your access, okay? So that's basically what you'll have to do. Let me go ahead and stop sharing the screen with you guys here. Let's see, and let me come back to our content page. Here we go. And I think I heard something in the chat. So that's something that I was looking for. There you go. Oh, you're welcome, Rebecca. Excellent. Okay. So, guys, that was one question. Does anybody have questions about anything else that you want to ask me about? Anything that you want to know at all? Don't be shy. This is why we're here tonight. Extra credit? Not really, but this is one thing that I do is as we get ready for our midterm, I open up assignments again. So like everything right now is due by next Tuesday, right? For whatever reason, if you don't finish everything by next Tuesday, I open them up again, right? A few days before the midterm, and I say, hey, listen, if there was an assignment you never got a chance to do, you can do it now, right? If you never took quiz 1 or you never took quiz 2, you can do it now. And then as we get towards the end of the semester, I open up everything again and I give you extra attempts at some of those quizzes, right? So if you took, I'm going to make this up, if you took quiz 3 and you took it twice and you made it both times, yes, I am going to have reviews for both the midterm and the final, Brandy. Excellent question. But I do set up the quizzes to where now you have like 5 attempts. So if you took quiz 2 and both times you made like a 50 and a 55, well, now you know you still got 3, 4, and 5 chances to take that quiz again, and that'll definitely bring your grade up. So that's about what I do for like, you know, I don't want to call it extra credit, but an opportunity to improve your grade. Good question though. Let's see. Any other questions anybody wants to ask about anything? You're welcome. You're welcome. Anything at all? So, guys, one of the main things, especially for our class, is whatever major that you guys have chosen, having an actual math credit in your degree plan is not a requirement. Now, that's not a requirement here at STC, right? So let me ask you a question. And guys, and I can't see you guys, so you can just put me or whatever, but anybody here going into nursing? Anybody going to be a nurse? Me? Yeah. Okay. All right. Nurses here, right? Awesome. Good. If I get sick, I'm going to call on you all, okay? So I'm just kidding. But so, okay, so this is a good thing. It looks like we got about 6, 7 people going into the nursing program. Awesome. And I want you guys to do really well, guys. We need nurses. My girlfriend's a nurse. You know, you guys save lives, and we can't appreciate you all enough. So the thing is, this is the deal, right? You're not required to have a math degree for your associates in, and I'll get to your question right now, Yitzia. You're not required to have a math class for your associate's degree, for your ADN, right? So I'm sure you guys are aware that STC now has a bachelor's in nursing now, right? So for that one, you guys will be required to take a math class. I think y'all need statistics or something like that. I don't know, it's either statistics or contemporary math. And the only reason I'm saying this is because this last semester, I had a couple of my students in the fall actually, who were nursing majors, and they were in my stats courses, okay? And I even had some this last spring too, now that I think about it. So the math that we're gonna do here, guys, it's just to get you, like, quote unquote, ready for so that you can be done with that part, right? But if you are going to take a math class in the future, you know, because you decide you're going to do the BSM thing, whether you do it here, UTRGV, transfer somewhere else, right? Just know that you're going to need a math class if you decide you want to go that route. So I just wanted to kind of bring that up. So it says if you use Pearson for other classes, it wouldn't work for this class. So unfortunately, that's right. So the way Pearson works, Pearson is basically the publisher, right? And so they have Mylab for all the math books, right? So if any of you took, say, Math 100, well, you bought a code for when you did Math 100, but that used a particular book. Now this class uses a different book. So you have to buy a code for this one, right? And the unfortunate part, guys, and this is just me venting more than anything else, is the way the department set up this class is you have to have the one for college algebra. And I would much rather you guys have to have the one for Math 100, because some of you may have already taken Math 100 and you might still have that code. And if you had like the 24-month option when you had Math 100, then you wouldn't have to buy a new code, right? So in that case, you do have to buy the code. I know it's quite a bit of money. My recommendation, honestly, would be, I'm going to just double check something real quick here, guys. Let's see. Well, that's not too much cheaper. Let's see. Here we go. All right, so I'm going to share something with you guys, and this is just kind of, you know, I'm just kind of doing this on a whim here. So let's see, here we go. So guys, all I did is I just typed into Google eBay MATLAB code. So if I click on this one right here, and let me make sure, yeah, y'all can still see it. Okay. So let's see. Let me see. Okay. They have some ratings here, so let me see. I'm just trying to see if you can, I'm just trying to see if it's pulling up the reviews. And let me see, I think I heard something in the chat. Let's see, here we go. Okay, so for the assignments, so I'm going to walk you all through that right now. Yes, yeah. But anyway, so I'll tell you what, guys, I'm going to stop sharing this. I'll let you guys kind of, you know, investigate this for yourselves. But yes, you do need to purchase the software so you can see. Let me see. Okay, let me get out of this part real quick. Let me stop sharing this. Okay. So what I'm going to do here, sign out of this. Okay. So let me see. What I want to do real quick, y'all, is let me see. Exit this. And click on this one. And let it load up. Okay. All right. So I'm going to share one more screen with you guys. I'm going to share actually two screens, but here's the first one. So guys, when you click on the weekly activities folder, right, and you see what you got to do, right, it tells you like here's the YouTube playlist, here are the notes, and then your assignments are actually in Mylab. So when you click on, sorry about that. When you click on the Mylab and Mastering Course Home link, this is where it's going to take you. So let me share that screen so y'all can see what that looks like. And your screen looks like this, right? And when I click on assignments, I'll see my assignments right here. So if you see, here's the first one: exponents, negative exponents, adding, subtracting polynomials, multiplying polynomials, and then our quiz, right? And then, and you can see when they're all due. Guys, if you notice here on the quiz, it says attempts 0 out of 2. I haven't started taking my quiz yet, right? So I can see that that's where it's kind of set up, okay? But that's where you're going to find your assignments, okay? So, so the YouTube videos are basically showing you how to do the assignments. Yes, that's what they're for. So the YouTube videos are telling you, okay, if you watch these videos, then you can go do your assignments, right? So guys, what I would tell you to do is, like, I would pull up the notes for 12.1 and I would watch that first video, and then I would do this assignment right here, right? I wouldn't necessarily watch all the videos and then try to go back and do all the assignments. I would watch the first video and then do this one. And then once you're done with that, then do the second video and then do this one here, right? So one of the things that I wanted to do tonight, guys, pardon, is I'm actually going to pull up the notes. And I'm going to walk you all through how I teach, right? And that's what I'm going to do with you guys tonight. It's the same thing you're going to see in the YouTube video, okay? I'm just doing this because we're here with each other right now. And I wanted to just give you guys a little bit of exposure, right? So let me try this here, and let me go here. Okay, so guys, all I did so far was I just accessed the notes from chapter 12 that are in that week 1 folder, right? So when you click on it and it says, hey, here are the notes for chapter 12 and chapter 13, this is how you get to that stuff. Okay, so what I'm going to do here, y'all, is I'm going to walk you all through some of this stuff here. And the first thing we're going to talk about here are exponents. And so exponents are just a way that we write what we call repeated multiplication, okay? So when I have this here, the big number is what we call our base, and the power is what we call the exponent, and it tells me how many times I'm going to write that base. So if I look at the first one here, it says 7 squared. So I'm just going to write 7 times 7. And I know 7 times 7 is just 49, right? And then the next one here is -3 in parentheses, and it's being squared. So guys, one thing I want to mention, this problem here has parentheses, so I'm going to write my answer with parentheses. And I know that a negative times a negative is a positive, and -3 times -3 is a positive 9. Okay. And so the next one here, there are no parentheses. So I know it's kind of hard to see, but the square is really only on the 3. It's not on the negative. So the way I would actually write this out is -3 times 3. Well, I already know that 3 times 3 is going to give me 9, but this here, y'all, is going to make it a -9. So if I have parentheses, I write the number inside the parentheses as many times as my exponent tells me. If I don't have parentheses, then I just write the negative once, and then I write the number without the negative as many times as my exponent tells me to do that. Okay. Now, for these next two problems, it's given me a value of my it's given me a variable expression, and then it tells me what the value of that variable is. So when I do these problems here, y'all, I call these problems plug and chug. And even though I don't see parentheses, I'm going to write them each time because I'm substituting it in there for that value. Okay. So just like we did earlier, I see parentheses. So I'm going to write down the number -2 as many times as my exponent tells me to write it down. So it tells me to write it down 3 times because that's the number that I have right now. So I'm going to do this in pieces. So I'm going to say, well, look, a -2 times a -2 is a +4. And now a +4 times a -2, that's a -8. Okay. All right, so I'm going to do the next one here. It says 5x to the third and x equals 3. So I'm going to write 5. I'm going to put parentheses, 3 to the third. Okay. Now again, I'm going to deal with my exponent part first. So I'm going to leave my 5 alone, and I'm going to write down the number 3 in parentheses 3 times. Okay. So guys, notice I don't even have any negatives here, so I don't have to worry so much about that part. So 3 times 3 is 9, and 9 times 3 is 27. And now, guys, you can use your calculators and stuff, right? So I'm going to grab my calculator, and I'm going to say 5 times 27. Where's my calculator? I'm just using the one on my phone, y'all. 5 times 27, and it's 135. Okay. Okay. So now I'm going to walk you through a little bit of the next part here. And this here is talking about the product rule for exponents. So it says if we're multiplying two numbers that have the same base, look at what we're going to do with our exponents. We're going to add the exponents together, and we're going to keep the base the same. Look at this problem here. X squared times x to the fifth. I'm going to leave it as an x, and I'm going to add my exponents together. Anybody know what's 2 and 5 when we add those numbers together? Oops, let's see. Yes, I'll go back to that one in a little bit, Kayla. I just saw that you messaged me right now. Yes, 7. Very good. So, Kayla, I'll go back in a second. X to the 7th. Perfect. Okay. Guys, let's do the same thing for this next one here. Look, we have y squared and y. Let me ask you a question. I know that there's 2 y's right here because there's a 2. How many y's do I have on that second one? How many y's would y'all say are there? 1. Perfect. Excellent. Good. Okay, so now let me ask you a question. How many y's do we have total? If there's 2 y's on the first one and there's 1 on the second one, how many y's do we have total? There you go. Y'all got it. Away, like Johnny Canales says. Good. Okay, let's do the same thing here. So look, we have 5y to the 4th times 3y. So guys, when I have expressions like this, what we're going to do, we're going to multiply the numbers first. So I know 5 times 3 is 15. Remember, we said if I don't see the power here, it's really understood to be a 1. So there's 4 y's here and 1 more here. Now we have a total of 5, right? Okay, do the same thing here for the next one. Look, -2 times another -2, +4. If there's a z to the 3rd and a z squared, remember, we're just adding the exponents, z to the 5th. Okay. And we'll do the same thing here. X to the 9th y times x to the 10th y to the 5th. So x to the 9th and x to the 10th, that's x to the power 19. Y and y to the 5th, y to the 6th. Right? Okay, so guys, I'm going to ask you to help me with this one here. If I have 2 A's here and 13 here, how many A's do we have total? Let's see, I heard something in the chat. Let's see, there you go. 15, perfect. And then B, 18. Excellent, good, very good. You guys got this, perfect. Okay. So let's see, we got one more problem over here, and then we'll talk about something called the power rule. Okay. So let's take a look here, guys. Remember, I'm going to multiply my numbers in front. If I don't see the number here, guys, it's really supposed to be 1s, okay? But this is the negative one. So look, we're going to go slow. 12 times -1 is -12. Times another one, that's still -12, right? And then remember, what we're going to do with our exponents now, or our x's, we're just going to add up all the powers. So if I have 5 and 6 and 4, we should have a total of 15, right? All righty. So the next rule here, y'all, talks about something called the power rule. The power rule just says that if we have a power that's being raised to another power, we're going to keep the base the same, but we're going to multiply our exponents now. Okay? So if I have x to the 9th to the 4th, we're going to multiply those exponents. That's going to give me a 36. Okay? If I have y to the 7th to the 5th, we're going to multiply those powers. That's going to give me a 35. Okay? Okay, now, guys, on this one here, I want you to think about this. Even though I don't see it on the inside, the power of that p is a 1, and the power of that q is a 1. And remember what it is we're doing. We're multiplying our exponents. So 1 times 8 is still 8, and 8 times 1 is still 8 again. So it's p to the 8th and q to the 8th. Okay? I'm going to come back to this one in a second, okay? I want to skip over it, and I'll come back in 1 minute. I want to do this one first here. So remember what we're doing. We're multiplying the exponents. So that 5 is going to multiply by the 2, and that's going to give me a 10. And that 5 is going to multiply by that 3, and that's going to give me a 15. Okay? Now we can go ahead and do this one. So let me grab my pen again. Remember, first thing right here, 3 and 5. Well, that's going to give me a 15, right? Guys, remember what the power on the 2 is? The power on the 2 is really a 1. So that's 2 to the 3rd power. Because I'm multiplying my exponents together. Now remember what 2 to the 3rd power means. 2 to the 3rd power means 2 times 2 times 2. So 2 times 2 is 4, times another 2 is 8. So this is really 8a to the 15th. Okay? All right. Let's try the next one here. So guys, I'll help you with the first part. Remember, the power on that C really is a 1. Can anybody tell me, once we multiply our powers by 2, what's the power on my A, on my B, and on my C? Anybody know the power on the A? Multiply 4, good. And then what about the B? 10, excellent. And what about the C? You guys got it. Good, very good. Excellent. So we're going to say A to the 4th, B to the 10th, C squared. Now, guys, I want you to think about this part. Look what we have. Everything is inside what? Parentheses, right? And we have that, excuse me, that negative 7 inside the parentheses, and it's being squared. So remember when we have something like this, the way we write it out, we say negative 7 times another negative 7. And a negative times a negative is a positive. So that's going to give me 49, right? For the squared. Very good. You guys are doing great. So again, guys, the one thing I really want to mention, if y'all were taking this class in the fall or in the spring, right, when we have 16-week sessions, this class would be a 6-week semester, right? Because the material here, guys, is short, it's sweet, okay? It's not a lot of material. I think you guys can do really, really well, and I want y'all to do really, really well, right? So everything that I'm doing right now with y'all tonight, I do the same thing in the YouTube videos. And I talk you all through the process just like I'm talking to y'all right now, right? So I can't see you guys. I'm looking at my computer screen, but I know that you're there. That was my intention when I made my videos, to do it the same way. Even though nobody was in there with me, I talk you all through the process as if you're there, okay? So look, let's do a couple more, and then I know we only have a few minutes left. We got about 15 minutes left, but I want to show you something in the homework on how these, basically like what it is you're going to see, okay? So let's look at this next one here. Remember that we're raising everything to the power. So inside, the power on that R is a 1, and the power on the S is 1. So it's going to be R to the 9th over S to the 9th, okay? Same thing here. The powers on those X's and Y's are 1. So this is going to be X squared, Y squared. Remember, the bottom part is a 7. So 7 squared. Remember, it's not 7 times 2. It's 7 times 7, which is my 49. Okay. And then same thing here. Remember, the power on my x is 1. The power on my z is 1. So this should be x squared z squared over y to the power 10, because I'm multiplying that exponent as well. And then again, look at this part right here, guys. It's in parentheses. Negative 2 being squared means a negative 2 times another negative 2. That's a positive 4, right? And it's on the top part of the fraction, and that's why I'm keeping it for the top part of the fraction. Okay. All right, so we're almost done here, guys. There's something here called the quotient rule for exponents. Now, what the quotient rule says is if we are dividing, we're going to keep the base the same, and now we're going to subtract. Okay. And I want to show you basically why the rule works the way it does. Remember what x to the third means. It means I'm going to have 1, 2, 3 x's, right? On the bottom, I have one of those x's. So we can say this guy right here will cancel with one of those. How many x's are we left with? We're left with 2, right? But the idea here is we're subtracting. Even though I don't see it here, remember the power is supposed to be a 1. So 3 minus 1 is 2, right? I just do this part here so you all can kind of understand why the rule works the way it does. Okay. So look, let's do the same thing for the next one. Remember, there's 1 p on the bottom. So how many p's are we going to be left with? Anyone know? 6, right? Good. How many? So Kayla, you need to print this part out. I'm going to show you what part you need to print out, okay? These are just the notes, okay? I'm going to show you the homework in a second. These are just the notes. Okay, guys, look at the q's. How many q's are we going to be left with? If there's 20 top and 15, good. 5, excellent, good. Okay, so we're going to put here p to the 6, q to the 15, okay? All right, let's do the same thing for these next ones. How many x's are we going to be left with? 7, right? Good. What about y's? Anybody know how many y's we're going to be left with? 6. Very good. You guys got it. Perfect. Okay. All right. So, guys, I'm going to show you these next couple of problems. We're actually, this is the last part of it here. So we're almost done. We got 4 more problems to do. Okay. Let's use the exponent rule. 6 minus 3 is 3, right? Now, the only thing you need to do now, we're going to do now at this stage, guys, is look, it's negative 4 to the third power. Remember what that means. That means I'm going to write out negative 4, negative 4, negative 4. I'm going to write it out 3 times because that's what my exponent tells me. So when I multiply these together, that gives me a 16 times a negative 4. And then when I multiply this together, that's just a negative 64. Okay. All right. And finally, we're almost done here. Okay, first thing we're going to do, guys, let's deal with the exponents. Look at the y's. There's 6 on the top and 3 on the bottom, so we should be left with 3 y's. Okay. Do me a favor, look at the x's. How many x's do we have on top, and how many do we have on the bottom? We both have, what, 2 x's? Yeah, there's 2, right? So 2 minus 2 is 0. That means we don't have any more x's, guys, because they all went away, right? The only thing I need to do now is reduce my fraction. 7 goes into 7 once, and 7 goes into 14 twice. And we're done. Okay. All right, and then the last part here, guys, is something called the 0 exponent rule. I always say this is a boring rule because it just says any number to the power 0 is always going to be equal to 1. So 7 to the power 0 is 1. 5 to the power 0 is 1. 1/2 to the power 0 is 1. I'm going to show you something, guys. Negative 3 to the power 0 is 1. Okay? And before I do this one here, let me ask you another question. Anybody know what's 4 to the power 0? Not a trick question, by the way. 1, right? It's going to be 1. Okay, so 4 to the power 0 is 1. So remember what we said earlier, guys, when I have a negative hanging outside? The negative hanging outside means, let's do the problem like this. Put a little space there, right? And we already said that 4 to the power 0 is 1. So this one here is going to be -1. That's right. So guys, before I show you all the next part, and I'm not going to do any more material, but before I show you the next part, I want to go back because I know that Kayla had a question about this one right here. Okay, so let me erase this, and I'm just going to show you all this problem again. Okay, so the difference in this problem here and this one is, this one up here we have parentheses, right? So when we have parentheses, if you notice I'm writing it with parentheses. When I don't have parentheses, the way I read this part here, write the negative down. The exponent, the 2, is only on the 3. It's not on the exponent. So I'm going to write it like this. So if you notice, I have a little bit of space right here, right? So 3 times 3 I know is 9, and then this right here, that negative, just makes it a -1, okay? All right, so guys, these notes, right? This is not the part that you print out. Let me show you what you're going to do next. So excellent. I'm glad it worked. So guys, remember when I told you that once we click on Mylab, you're going to see your assignments, and the assignments are right here. So look, I'm going to click on this first one, and if you notice, there are 30 questions. Okay, so when I click on number 1, give me one quick second because it opens up a new window. So I want to share that with you guys so y'all can see what it is I'm doing. There we go. Okay, so here's our first problem. And let me see, I think I'm waiting for it to load up. There we go. Here's our first problem. It says, use the product rule to simplify the expression and write the result using exponents. Okay, so guys, notice the letter that I'm using. I'm using the letter Y, so I'm going to write the letter Y. Now, guys, if you notice, I'm not using the capital letter Y. I don't want to use the capital Y because that's not what I have. Let me ask you a question. If we have 2 Y's in the first spot and we have 6 Y's in the second spot, how many Y's do we have total? And I heard somebody put it in the chat, and 8. Perfect. Excellent. Good. So, guys, I'm going to show you something here. If you can see where I'm clicking, where I have my mouse is moving around down here at the bottom, the third little box gives me my exponent button. So I'm going to type in the number 8, and then I'm going to go check my answer. We got it right. Let's go to the next question. Okay, so remember, first thing I'm going to do, I'm going to multiply 2 times 8. So 2 times 8 is going to give me 16. How many x's are we going to have total? Anybody know? There you go. So we're going to put, I'm going to use that little power button again, go to the third. Check it. Excellent. Okay, we're going to do the same thing here. We got 2 letters. We got Y and we got Z. So I'm going to put Y. Anybody know how many Y's we have total? 15. There you go. You got it. Okay, so guys, look, I'm going to go 15. Oops. I need to do my exponent button. Sorry, I forgot to hit that. So exponent 15. Now, I really want to type the letter Z, but if you notice, I think it's doing it. Yes, if you notice, the 15 is highlighted, meaning my cursor is still up there. So the way I get rid of that is I'm looking at my keyboard right now, guys, and on my laptop, you know how you have little 4 arrows, left, right, up, down? I'm going to hit the right arrow button. Now all I did is I dropped down again, Z, and we're going to have a total of 5 of those. Okay, and then I'm going to check my answer, and you got it, right? Now I'm going to show you something. I'm going to do this next problem here. I'm going to get it wrong on purpose, okay? I'm going to get it wrong on purpose. I don't know. I'm just going to put the number 3. I'm going to check my answer. It says, hey, you know what? That's not right. Okay, so it's going to give me a chance to fix it, right? So look, I'm going to fix it now. I'm going to say 28p to the power of 5, right? And I'm going to hit my little right arrow button so I can drop down, and q to the power of 9, and I'm still going to get it wrong. Anybody know what I'm missing in this problem? What's the part that I'm missing? I have almost everything correct, the negative sign. That's right. But I want to show you something, guys. If I check it again, it says, hey, you're still missing something, right? It gives me a third. If you notice down here, guys, at the bottom, it says final check, right? That means I get 3 shots of getting the problem, of doing the problem, right? So I'm going to come back over here, and let me move my cursor all the way back. Don't forget my negative. Final check. We're good, okay? And guys, even if when you get the problem wrong, even after the final check, it still gives you opportunities to do the same problem over and over again. Down here where it says check your answer, it turns into a button that says similar question, and you can just do a new problem, and if you get that one right, then you get credit for whatever number you're on, right? So like right now we're on number 5. Anyway, is this making sense on like how you can find the notes, how you can find the videos, and where your assignments are going to be though? Do y'all feel okay on where I'm finding info? Yeah. Okay, so I'm going to stop sharing that screen real quick with y'all guys. Let me get out. Okay, so give me one quick second. I know we're just out about a time. Let me see this. Here we go. Okay, so I think you guys can see me now. Okay, so guys, in the week 1 folder, there's a link for how to make your Mylab account. So if you haven't done it yet, that's going to be the first thing you're going to do. Make sure that you download Pronto to your phone. And then number 3, you can access the notes with the link that I put in there, and you can access the videos on YouTube. So like right now, we already went through 2.1. So if I was sitting where you guys are sitting, what I would do, guys, is I would start on 2.1. It's only 13 questions. See if you can knock those 13 questions out, right? If you can knock those 13 questions out, hey, you're already ahead of the game. If you want to watch the video for 12.2, watch the video for 12.2 that I have in YouTube, right? And then do those assignments. In the class session that I had right before you guys, and I don't want to keep you guys, I know it's 7:28, I don't want to keep you all past 7:30, but in the class session I had before you guys, somebody was asking me, sir, what's like a recommended schedule that we keep? And so like for you guys, you all have 5 assignments total, and you can get them done, you have basically a week and a day to get them done. My recommendation is get them done sooner than later, right? I would much rather you message me tomorrow or Wednesday and say, hey, when are you going to upload the stuff for week 2? Because I've already knocked everything out. And if you do that, I'll probably upload it that same day. Unless I'm really busy doing something else, I'll upload it that same day, right? And it's not that you have to get started. The deadline for that would be the following Tuesday, but it'll be available for anybody who wants to, knock it out early. But my recommendation is do that, right? This way, everything is done. It's out of the way. You don't have to worry about any of that kind of business, all right? And the only reason I say knock it out earlier than later is I don't want you guys waiting until next Tuesday saying, oh, man, this is easy. I have until the 15th. And then on the 15th, you're like, how do I log into Mylab? How do I do this, right? And you're trying to figure everything out in one day. That just puts too much pressure. So if you guys have time, my recommendation, knock stuff out earlier. Do it sooner than later. So guys, I also gave you my office hours, okay? So those other office hours, it doesn't mean that I'm going to be on block at that particular time, but I'm going to be with my iPad, right? And I'm going to have my phone with me. So if you message me on Pronto, sir, I got stuck on number 11. Can you help me with it? Definitely. I'm going to make a video. I'm going to send it out, and I'm going to talk you through it just the way we did our notes tonight, okay? You can call me on my Google number if you want to. It's up to you guys. You guys have a lot of options, all right? But that's pretty much what we're doing for this evening. And then, guys, next Monday night, I'm going to have another class session, right? I'll probably be starting with chapter 13 because I'll be done with chapter 12. And what I'm going to do next Monday night, the first thing I'm going to do, guys, before we do anything new, is I'm going to say, hey, anybody got any questions from any of the homeworks that you had, 12.1, 12.2, 12.4, 12.5? Y'all got any questions on that? And if you say, yeah, you know what, I didn't know how to do this problem here. I got stuck on this one. Can we go over it? Yeah, definitely. We'll knock any questions out of the way first, knowing that they're not due till the next day. So you can, there's a question you didn't get right. We can figure it out to make sure that you do get it right. And then we can do new stuff, okay? So that's pretty much it for us tonight, guys. I hope you all found this helpful. The reason I did this is just to kind of keep us on track. by no means, guys, are you obligated to log in. If you don't log in, it's not, there's no penalty or anything like that. I'm just doing this because I want to make sure that you guys have some structure. You guys get to at least see me once, right? You can see how I am. Hey, look, this is my house, right? This is my alpha picture. I go to this gym in Edinburgh, right? But this is I'm trying to give you guys as much exposure to me and as access to me as I can, okay? So this way I can help you guys get through this stuff. Anyway, that's it for us tonight, guys. Thank you all for showing up. I really appreciate it. I'm going to download the video of this recording. I'm going to stop recording it already because we're already done with all